Whit and I believe that adventure unlocks authenticity. So when life presented an opportunity to pull back the curtain on the mindsets of the members of Dawson Hollow, we decided to make it interesting. After all, why just share analogies about adventure when we could live one?
Well, I'll tell you actually something I've been dying to ask you guys, especially hearing how your journey's going and that you feel like you're on the edge of breaking through to some of the visions of where you had yourself. I know that requires a lot of belief, and that you were sharing before some stories about playing venues where there's no one there. You're just playing for like someone's grandparents, I think you said, in one of them, and another one. When that evidence shows up, how do you not let the doubt grow? What's your strategy to keeping in belief?
It comes back to the why. Like, we're literally in a season right now where we're talking about, okay, what was the root of our why when we started this band, and how does that grow and refine and continue? Another aspect of it, Aaron and I were talking about this like a couple weeks ago. It's like, if we literally aren't allowed to play for people, we will still make music. Like, if it's in our basement, like we're still gonna do it. So whether people show up or not, like, it's what we want to do. Ideally, there's people there. And we're like, because we want to give the music, right? So the music feeds us, but we don't want to only be fed, we want to feed. So I think that's a big part of the why.
So what is your guys' vision, like 5 years from now, or the one that, what's the big why? What's the big vision that you're aiming for?
Yeah, I think the vision is multi-layered. So we're wired to do music. So first of all, we just want to make music, whatever that looks like. And ideally bigger and bigger and bigger. Also financially, like, we want to do this and that's it. So like, for the band to take fully over, and that's like, we get to choose where we play, when we want to play. The big vision is, on like a deeper level, is impact. So through the songs, I think community is a really big part of what our why is becoming. Like, when we do a show and people come into a room, and for that hour and a half, 2 hours, like, everybody becomes like a pack or a tribe, or like one unit. I think to maybe get to the root of the question, as I'm thinking about it a little bit, like, the big why, I think for us from the beginning has been like light and darkness. And then as it continues to shape, I think anthems of hope has been like our songs. Like, what are we doing? Why are we playing? Why do we want to share these songs? And they're like these songs of hope. And hope can mean so many different things to so many different people from so many different walks of life. So I think in this season for us, that's like the root why, is like these songs of hope.
Yeah, I love that. How do you guys keep your hope alive and your faith strong?
We have started dialoguing more, checking in on each other. Yeah, we have a good support. Like, we're just starting to get the team around us is very supportive, and they will also check in on us.
24 and still insecure. I hope that you'll be the cure.
Have any of you ever had sort of a crisis of faith in the vision of the band?
When we first had the vision of Dawson Hollow, we partnered with some people to help us like create the vision. the path we chose was a Kickstarter. Talk about losing belief, and you're like, are we gonna make it? I don't know. So going through that kind of strengthened the belief muscle, if that's a thing.
It is for sure a thing. And what you had to recover from was sort of the energy output of that?
Yeah.
We were very depleted.
Because we weren't like a band.
Well,
But
we were
trying to
forming.
become a band. But in order to become a band, we had to be not a band. Very ironic.
Yoda over
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, explain,
No, like,
expound.
Instead of just like, we get to like make music and like play gigs. For like the Kickstarter, it was like a solid month of we're doing everything we possibly humanly can to raise money.
We had funded our first recording, and we wanted to do it to like a full high level studio recording.
I love it. How'd it go?
We did it.
Yeah,
Sweet. We got to do it. So the vision was we wanted to record a record not in a glossy studio. So we packed up all of our gear. We met a producer in Montana and recorded in a ranch house for 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
So like one of our songs, Fire and Flood, there's this iconic moment where we were trying to get the moment right, and we had done it like 6, 7, 8 times, and it was like, it sounds good. It's like something there. And we look out the window and there's this bald eagle just like majestically gliding through the clouds. So we just stop and just watch it. Comes down, we're like, this is it, like this is the moment, and we jump in, and it's the last song on the album, so it's like a 7-minute song, and that was the version we kept.
Oh, you quoted that one on your
Yeah,
post.
I knew that one. I actually that's the song that I heard. I went out on the paddleboard. I was telling you guys, I'm like, okay, I want to know these guys. It's super easy because I can just go listen to your music, and I'm gonna come back from a 2-hour paddle, and I'm gonna know you. And so I went out and. Hoping I was gonna like you.
Yeah.
Please be cool. Please be cool. And I listened to that song, and just the part that I quoted, like I've been playing the Cynic too long. I'm traveling on, and I was like, oh my gosh, like even right now it's making me emotional. I'm like that's it right there. Like that's the stuff, and I can see it. Like you guys have your van and you're traveling on, like metaphorically, but also actually. Yeah, and it is. Yeah, I was like, okay, I love these guys, so I can thank the bald eagle.
Yeah.
for my moment on the paddleboard. Isn't that wild? So bald eagle in Montana leads to my experience on a paddleboard in Belton, Texas. That's good stuff.
Those
right there.
stories are just crazy.
Yeah.
Because for us, it's just we made it. We just throw it out there, and then we hear all these stories of what happened.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so encouraging.
As your life coaches for the day,
Yes.
you guys have a really good mindset around this. This is really clean thinking and a really good strategy that you have in place. We come across a lot of times people that you guys have it naturally. You guys have just probably trial and error come to where you are. But just to sort of point it out, the first thing you were describing was commitment. And the thing about commitment is that ups and downs don't matter with commitment, because you're gonna always be doing what you did when you felt like it, even when you don't feel like it. And so that's the concept. And so you look at the journey ahead and you're like, there will be highs and lows. I'm committed to the journey. In the lows, where am I? I'm committed to the journey. In the highs, where am I? I'm committed, and so that's the first thing that you mentioned was that. Then you were talking about evaluation and looking at it afterwards and sort of checking in. That's like on this journey, sort of taking a look at the GPS every now and then. We're not gonna walk like this because that would be super lame, right? But yeah, from time to time, there's gonna be these key moments where we check in and we're like, how's this going? 2 perfect questions, what went well?
Yeah.
And then my favorite one, instead of what went wrong, I like to ask what could go even better.
Yes.
And then the third one that is probably the most important is that you guys are seeing what your actions as part of something bigger. You're like joining a movement of light to darkness on the grandest scale, and then tiered down little scales in between of impact and inspiration and sharing what you've created. And so yeah, like I love it. If I could offer anything into your journey, it would just be that those are 3 like concrete pillars you could always point back to when it's not coming naturally. And you could say, well, what do we do? Are we committed? We're going to evaluate, always look for what we could do better, and then always tapping into our bigger purpose. What we're doing here is bigger than just us. And that's gonna fuel the hope that Whit was asking you, how do you keep? That's gonna fuel that hope. And as long as that hope is present, that's gonna drive the actions. You build your own hope and then act rather than vice versa.
The world was smaller way back in Dawson. We were so innocent and strong. But now we're older, it's not so simple. We'll head on with that storm. Oh, come on, people, open up your eyes. We thought